Hey you guys, this is Olga with AskYourSoul.org, and today I wanted to talk about something pretty important when it comes to conscious manifesting, and that is, what if you've been trying and using all of the possible methods or techniques or whatever that you could think about, and your manifestation is still not coming true? And I feel like that's definitely one of those things that everyone has dealt with, especially at the beginning when they just started trying to consciously manifest stuff. And it's super frustrating, right? Because you're like, well, how come all these people are saying that this is supposed to work and it's just not? What am I doing wrong? Like, why? So I just wanted to go over a few things that I think could be the main reason why. And hopefully this is gonna help you to truly start believing that it does work. And it's okay if it doesn't right now. I mean, I know it sucks, but it doesn't mean that it's not going to. So please, 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 please do not give up just yet. And here are a few things that I think are super important to consider when you're consciously manifesting. Okay, so the first thing is definitely self-concept. I can't even emphasize it enough. I feel like that's one of those things that is literally at the core of our manifesting ability. Because if you deep inside just do not believe that you are good enough, that you're worthy of this goal, and you may consciously think that, of course, yeah, sure, I'm good enough, like, why wouldn't I get this? But somewhere deep inside, maybe all the way from your childhood, there's this idea that's been planted forever ago that no, like, let's say you don't feel like you're good enough. Or another interesting thing is, for example, when it comes to money, a lot of the time, like, I feel like we've been conditioned through our whole lives to believe that money is evil in some freaking way, and if you have a lot of it, then you could do like a lot of really bad things for the world. And even though rationally we realize that no, that's not true at all. You can use money in any way you want. It's just energy, So you can literally use it to save someone's life, or you can use it to ruin someone's life just as well. So honestly, it's just a matter of how you choose to use it versus it inherently being a negative thing. But because we grow up usually hearing a lot of that stuff, especially if you grow up in a family where you didn't have a lot of income and you were watching movies that kept supporting that idea that money is evil, then of course it's going to be harder to get rid of it and just reprogram your subconscious mind to believe that no, money is awesome and I'm happy to make a lot of it and I have what it takes to make it. So that's a huge part of your self-concept, which is why I bring that up as number one reason why your manifestation may not be coming true. Because you know how they always say that you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. And if deep inside you don't believe that you are good enough or worthy enough, or it's for your highest good to be like this or to receive something, then this is going to be the number one reason why it's not coming true. Because you're every time you are reaffirming something that deep inside you do not believe you should receive or you could receive, then you're meeting this resistance from your subconscious mind immediately. So you can affirm, and maybe it can start like coming in small quantities and it takes a long time. And then even if you do get the partial manifestation, then it gets taken away, or just something crappy like that happens where you're like, well, I can't even really consider this a full manifestation because I just lost it or something. So this is the number one thing, and I really, really encourage you to work on your self-concept. And the best way from my experience on how to do that, and the easiest, which is awesome, is to listen to those affirmation audios, especially at night when your conscious mind is at rest and it's not interfering with the subconscious. So that's definitely my biggest advice, because it doesn't require anything from you other than to turn it on at night and to let it play. How much easier can it get? So definitely consider using those audios at night. I mean, you can use them during the day too, but I feel like if you are doing that, then it's very likely that your conscious mind is not going to let you fully get those ideas in. You know what I mean? It's going to try to argue with that. It's just not as easy as it is at night. When you're asleep, nothing is in the way and you're just getting these ideas kind of implanted into your subconscious mind. Another useful thing is if you catch yourself having this thought of, oh my God, I could never get this, or I could never do this, then immediately saying back to yourself, why not? Yes, I could. Why am I using this self-limiting belief? This is a lot more challenging because most of the time it's so automatic that we don't even notice that it happens. Sometimes I am amazed when I realize the kinds of thoughts that immediately pop into my mind. Like it's just this tiny little speck of time, and immediately it's this negative thought of, oh my God, what if this happens? And I'm like, why would it happen? It makes no sense. Like, why am I directing my mind to something negative where there's literally no reason why that should be the case? So if you're able to do that, and meditation for sure helps with that, because it just helps you concentrate more on your thoughts and to realize when your thoughts are out of alignment, which is, I mean, of course, they're always going to get out of alignment. We're human beings. It's not like we're going to be able to just always think good thoughts. And you know what I mean? It wouldn't make any sense to have this earthly experience if that were the case, because that, would just defeat the whole purpose of being here. But if you are able to notice those and consciously revert them back and be like, no, I want to question that. That's not true at all. I don't know where this thought just came from, but cancel, or like, I do not support it. So that helps as well. And then another big thing that could be the reason why the manifestation is not coming true is resistance. And we all have that, of course, also because we're humans. And it's a completely normal thing, but it's also something to work on, because most of the time, resistance is nothing else other than self-limiting beliefs. So it kind of goes back to the self-concept part of this. But to me, resistance means that in your heart of hearts, you just do not believe that whatever it is you're trying to manifest is even remotely possible. Even when you affirm it, you're like, it just feels so awkward to even say this. Like, I know I'm not going to make $1 million. It just doesn't feel natural. And for some people, they can honestly use affirmations to a point where they do start believing it, which is incredible. I haven't found that for myself, to be honest, but what I have found to be super helpful is if you feel like you are getting too much resistance from your own heart and mind and soul about this specific goal, then start off smaller. Like, it doesn't have to be this huge thing where it feels completely impossible and miraculous, and fairy tale-ish, like that would ever happen. So instead of repeating to yourself that I'm a millionaire, I'm making $1 million a year, like whatever, you would start off a lot smaller, okay? And start off with an amount that feels comfortable, more or less comfortable to you. So it's not so little that you're just like, well, yeah, that's pretty much what I'm making right now, so there's no point. But it's definitely more than you have ever made before. So there is a chance that could happen. And like deep inside, hey, I know a lot of people who are actually making this much, and so I don't see why I couldn't either. Or if you have been out of contact with someone, with your SP for like years and years and years, it would be really hard to believe that, okay, they're just gonna call me tomorrow and ask me to marry them. Like, that would just feel like it's out of the realm of possibilities, I mean, if you can truly make yourself get yourself to believe that, great, then that would totally work. But if deep inside you're like truly doubting it and it's met with a lot of resistance from your mind, then definitely start off smaller and start off with something like, I know I'm gonna get a text from them soon, and like a friendly text or whatever, something that's actually doable, something that's possible, something that doesn't require your mind to completely go out of its comfort zone to a point where it just, it's a parallel reality, but it's so far away from the one where you are now that it's like this huge quantum leap for you to get there. Versus having a parallel reality that's, I'm trying to like visually kind of explain this, but having a parallel reality that's right next to yours, and kind of like jumping through to that one, it would just make it so much easier. Anyway, so that's just something that I feel like would really help. Okay, another thing that I feel like is super important when it comes to consciously manifesting is where is your focus? What are you focusing on? So for example, the fact that you're watching this video right now, something made you click on it and get to this point right now and to keep on watching. That tells me that there is still a big part of you that's focusing on the fact that your manifestation is not coming true. And trust me, I know how hard it is to completely ignore your circumstances and to just be like, it's okay, it's on its way, no worries. So what if my reality does not reflect any part of what I want? Whatever. It takes a lot of work, a lot of practice with this concept and truly like having faith, that it's going to work. So I totally get it, but I just want to encourage you to really pay attention to what you focus on in terms of your manifestation ideas. Because if you're constantly reaffirming to yourself that, even if you're saying to yourself, oh, okay, it's on its way, and then later in the day you're just like, it's still not here, like when is it gonna get, why is it not getting here faster? I mean, I'm affirming and doing this and that, like how come? I wonder how many other people are saying that their manifestation is not coming true. Does this even work? So when you start going down this dangerous road of doubt, this is when your focus shifts to something negative. And that's exactly what makes it so hard for the manifestation to come into your life. So that's another thing where meditation, if you can spare like 5 to 10 minutes a day or whatever, just even a few minutes, however long feels comfortable to you, every day to paying attention to your thoughts, that could really help you realize this proportion of, negative to positive thinking in terms of this manifestation. And if you find yourself always doubting it and wondering when it's going to come in and why it's still not here, then I would once again encourage you to use those affirmation audios. And by the way, I'm going to link a couple of my affirmation audios below, just in case you want to check them out. And honestly, it's a matter of doing that for a while, because I've mentioned this before at some point, but repetition is key when it comes to reprogramming your subconscious mind. It's faith and repetition. So honestly, if you can do that, if you can listen to the audios that you like and enjoy and trust for as long as you possibly can, this is going to start changing your reality completely. It may not happen at first, and there may be some purge period that I feel like I have to warn people about. But regardless, the fact that if you just keep on going and doing that, and it doesn't require that much effort on your part, you know what I mean? Other than to turn it on at night. But it could really honestly make a huge difference, so don't underestimate the power of those subliminal, well, they're not even really subliminal, you can hear them, but they're subliminal, I guess, in the way that when you're asleep, you're not hearing them. Anyway, so they are really powerful, those messages and those affirmations. And if they resonate with you, then definitely give them a chance. Okay, and the last thing, I guess it's actually kind of two things, but I feel like you might as well combine them into one. To me, those are, if you're into Neville Goddard's teachings, I don't think he would approve of these, because he was literally teaching that we do create our reality completely. And I agree with him on most things, but I do believe, and that's just me, I do believe that there is divine timing, honestly, because I know that a lot of the coaches say that there is no divine timing. You manifest it whenever you want to manifest it, but it's not true, because we can't control the when. That's one of those things that we can't control. And to me, that's the biggest indicator that there is such a thing as divine timing. So your manifestation, yes, you are going to be able to manifest it, but it's going to come into your life when the time is right. So I do believe in divine timing. If you don't, that's totally up to you. That's just something that resonates with me personally. And if you feel like your manifestation is not coming true fast enough, then it could be, possibly, that the timing right now is not ideal. It could be that it's going to totally manifest in just a little while. Maybe it's going to be a couple of weeks. Maybe it's going to be a couple of months. But when it does manifest, it's going to be in the perfect timing for you and your soul's growth and your highest good. So that's my other thing, the highest good. Is this for your highest good? I feel like a lot of the time we manifest from the ego standpoint and we think that we know what's good for us, and our soul or our higher self is like, I don't think so, man. Like, you think you want this, but it's probably gonna do you more harm than good. So that's another thing that I believe. If it's completely not for your highest good and you're trying so hard to manifest it, it can still manifest for sure, but it's gonna require a lot of work and it's gonna feel like pulling teeth. And when it does come into your life, you're gonna all of a sudden realize that, shit, I don't even know if I want this. Just as an example, if you really want this SP and you're like, they're obsessed with me, I'm all they can think about, blah, 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 and you're just like so focused on this SP. And then eventually, as the time goes by, you find someone else who's like perfect for you in so many ways. And all of a sudden, when you let go of that other goal with your SP, of course, shows up, right? And all of a sudden you realize that you really do not want this person in your life. And you're like, shit, what was I thinking? Why was I so obsessed with the idea of them being obsessed with me? Because really, it's just now at this point, it's like creating a lot of crap and struggle for my other relationship. So anyway, I'm just saying that we don't always know what's for our highest good. It does not mean that we can't manifest once again, but it's likely that it's just going to take a lot longer than necessary. And as the end result, it's probably going to be something that you're not going to want anyway. So if somewhere deep inside you're questioning this whole idea of this manifestation being for your highest good, maybe try not to focus on it so hard at this point and see what other things would be really important in your life that truly seem like they would be for your highest good. So kind of changing your focus from stuff that's not coming true and that doesn't feel like it's 100% aligned with your soul's purpose and what's truly good for you, to something that can truly change your life and the lives of other people around you to the better. Being really, really self-aware. I feel like that's one of the most important things in life in general, because when you are self-aware, you're not going to let this illusion of what your ego wants completely control your life and your manifestations. And you're going to question yourself. You're going to question your goals. You're going to be more selective, and that's how it should be. Not just to manifest for the heck of it, but to truly think about how you can make the best out of your life and live in alignment with who you are deep inside. I feel like that's one of the most important things in life. So, if you share that sentiment, then definitely consider everything I've mentioned in this audio. I really, really hope you enjoyed listening to this and it's helpful to you. And thank you so much for your time, you guys. I really appreciate your feedback. And it's really cool to hear so many amazing stories about manifesting the coolest things and just truly changing your reality consciously in such cool ways. Anyway, if you have any more of those cool stories, definitely leave them in the comments below. Or if you have any questions, I would love to hear them also in the comments below. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day or night, and that you become the master manifester you were always meant to be. Okay, bye y'all.